think it is a mistake on their part. And I think it's time for a wholesale reevaluation of the U.S. alliance with Saudi Arabia. What's the point of looking the other way as the Saudis chop up journalists, repress political speech inside Saudi Arabia, if, when the chips are down, the Saudis effectively choose the Russians?
Welcome back to Red and Blue. I'm Nancy Cordes, and that was Democratic Senator Chris Murphy on the United States relationship with Saudi Arabia, one of many lawmakers reacting to the OPEC oil production cut announcement. Joining me now to discuss this and more are Ashley Etienne and Leslie Sanchez. Ashley is a brand new CBS News political contributor and the former communications director for both Vice President Kamala Harris and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Leslie is a CBS News political analyst and Republican strategist. And let's start with you, Ashley. Welcome to CBS News. It is so great to see you and great to have you on the team. I want to start by asking you about this new marijuana announcement that President Biden just made. Which segments of the Democratic Party are going to be cheering this announcement, and why is he taking this step now?
Yeah, great to be with you, Nancy. Thanks for having me. I'm excited about joining the team. So, I mean, I think, the first thing that comes to mind, obviously, is promises made, promises kept. I mean, the president talked about this on the campaign trail. He leaned into it, and he's actually delivered on it. So I think you're right. I mean, it's going to attract young voters, but there's a lot of people who I think could be excited about this, but not just this, but how the president has been delivering on his promises on the campaign. 10 million jobs created, record unemployment. So there's a lot in what the president's been able to produce and deliver for the American people that are key constituencies that are going to be important to turn out in the midterm, that they can wrap their arms around and be excited about. This is just one of many.
Leslie, let's talk about this OPEC Plus news and the fact that if oil prices start to go back up, then gas prices are sure to follow. And actually, take a look at this graphic. They're already creeping up in the past few days. They're up by about 10 cents or so after falling for a couple of months. So what does that mean for President Biden as he makes this final midterm election argument that he's the one who has been able to help bring down gas prices in the past few months?
I think there's a lot of frustration on the Republican side. Many people believe that the administration's policies have really hampered energy production, energy producers in the United States, kicking and killing off Keystone Pipeline, reducing the amount of production in the United States, energy production, oil production, to its lowest levels. And tied to that, Nancy, are the tremendous number of jobs that go into the energy industry. So it isn't just people feeling the pocketbook aspect of high gas prices on their family, household. It's also the number of jobs and how it impacts these families in key states that have a lot of battleground competitions this fall. So they feel it across the line, and there's not going to be an easy fix.
I want to talk to you guys about third quarter fundraising numbers because they have just been released. They are hot off the presses, and they are really interesting. So let's take a look at the money that Democrats and Republicans who are running for Senate have been able to raise in the third quarter. Let's start with the Democrats, Ashley, because you see them there on the screen. Raphael Warnock, $26 million. John Fetterman, $22 million. Mandela Barnes, $20 million. Tim Ryan, $17 million. These are pretty impressive figures. Where is the money coming from? And is it a problem anymore when a majority of the money comes from out of state?
Well, here's the thing. I mean, it's very encouraging that our candidates are out raising their Republican opponents, in some cases by double digits. But here's the key is that, ads and money don't win elections, right? What actually does is a ground game. And that's what we're, as Democrats, incredibly strong at, is pulling out a ground game. So it's not the money nor the ads that will win this election. And, and you couple that, the midterm elections, you couple that with how the president's been able to deliver with very tight margins in the Senate and the House. I think that's the winning combination, which is strong ground game and an incredible story to tell about how we've improved people's lives over the 24 months that the president has been in office. And again, I mean, I think it's sort of, we can't say this often enough because it's incredible what he's been able to accomplish in such a short period of time. The job creation, record low unemployment, bipartisan bills on infrastructure. I've been in Washington, D.C. for 20 years. We've been talking about an infrastructure bill for the entire time. The president's been able to do it in a bipartisan way, bipartisan legislation on guns, as well as to lower drug costs. So that, to me, is going to be the winning combination. I think we overinvest and overfocus on the money aspect of this. I mean, I've been a part of many campaigns that outraised their opponent but lost. But it comes down to the ground game and to this incredible story about how the president's been able to deliver for the American people that I think is going to make the difference. It really enables us to really localize these races in a way that I think will have a big impact for turnout.
Leslie, we've only got a couple of numbers so far for Senate Republican candidates, but I want you to weigh in on why they appear to be getting outraised at this point in time by their Democratic counterparts. The one that really stands out is Herschel Walker raising $12 million to Raphael Warnock's 26.
I know, and I was talking to some voters today in states as far away as Nevada, Arizona, and Texas who saw some of those Herschel Walker, fundraising letters that are asking for small contributions. I will tell you, Republicans have been at a deficit with respect to Senate candidates through most of this election cycle. And I want to welcome Ashley on board. It's exciting to be working with her. And I agree with her on the point that it is not the money. I, too, have been on numerous campaigns that outraised their opponent, but we lost badly. These are voters that are, as we are in the last 30 days, a little bit more than that of the election, have made up their mind. And now it is an activation game on the ground. But what we're not taking into consideration, you do have the Trump effect. I hate to be the person to bring that up in the conversation. We went so long, Nancy, but he has raised a tremendous amount of money for himself. And while people are still questioning the halo effect, you don't see a lot of those dollars moving into the campaign. So it will be an aggressive fight down to the last minute for those dollars to mobilize and do the get out the vote efforts. But people have pretty much solidified what side of the aisle they're going to be on with respect to voting.
Much to the frustration of Republican fundraisers, the former president, is raising that money, and he is keeping it to himself. Leslie Sanchez, right. Ashley Etienne, it's so great to see the two of you side by side. Hope to see a lot more of you in the months to come.
Same here. Same here.
Thank you.